Hey, welcome to Raw and Order Super Impromptu, because we really didn't think about doing this, but then I was like, let's do this. AEW All Out discussion.
Damn
We're
right.
yeah, we're gonna be doing the actual review tomorrow afterwards. That's all scheduled and all up. Fuego's advertising for us.
Fuego is advertising for us. Yes, there you go.
he
Gotta love
he
that.
he posted on his Twitter a picture, just a picture of him with a white background pointing, and he said, "Come on, Twitter or internet, do your thing." So I downloaded it and I turned it into our advertisement, our thumbnail for our review tomorrow. So
Nice.
Fuego's advertising for us.
Perfect. Thank you, Fuego.
But
So kind of
yeah,
you.
yeah, he's a great guy.
Awesome, dude.
But yeah, this was just kind of sitting around this afternoon after work, and I was like, you know what would be, this is the WrestleMania of AEW. We haven't done a pre-discussion for a pay-per-view for a while.
Right.
So I thought this would be worth us, getting together. This is going to be probably crazy because we've got surprises that are going to be coming, things that are supposed to be surprises that we already know about that are going to be coming.
Right.
Potentially surprises that we didn't think about that could be coming, and just some great matches on the card. So I figured we'd talk about them. I don't know if we want to do so much predictions, but we'll talk about them and say what we think's going to happen, sort of a thing. And so we'll kind of just go down the card. Just me, Detective Mark Smarks, and JLB from up north today.
Hey.
DA Fabe is, I'm assuming, doing stuff with his family or something. But he should be in for tomorrow night's review. So
That's it.
But we'll just go ahead and get straight into it. I'm just doing this as a live stream. We're not going to put this up on the podcast page. So if you do want to hear what we say, watch the replay or come to the live stream. That's going to be the way to do it. And, I don't know. If it becomes popular, we might do this for every pay-per-view. Who knows?
Oh, boy.
But don't make this popular. We might do this for every AEW pay-per-view.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, please. That's a little bit more doable than doing this for every WWE pay-per-view. Oh, God.
Sure.
Dude, I'm gonna get so depresso.
I'm almost ready to stop WWE altogether. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, SmackDown I'll still watch, to be honest with you. Raw, I just don't even care if I miss anymore. NXT, I just kind of want just to see what they're going to do with everything. Just that one show I'll watch, and I'll be like, all right, I'm done. I don't care anymore.
If I could watch SmackDown, I'd maybe consider continuing to watch it, but fucking Sling. And yes, I know, I could probably get an antenna and do all of this stuff, but since I work Fridays until 7 when it starts. I'm not home till 7:30. I need to find some way to DVR it. I can't do that with just an antenna. So then it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just not going to do it. I watch the recaps or whatever later. But we're going to go ahead and get into AEW. So the show that used to be supposed to be on the kickoff. Just to know, John from Wrestle Talk Now says, "Hey guys."
Hey, John, what's good, bro?
John, if you want to jump on, just let us know. I'll send you the link. So you know. But hey, John, we're just gonna talk AEW. I know you guys did your talk about AEW All Out, and so
I was napping, so I actually missed it. Yeah, so
you were not there. I actually was there in the chat, but I was also at work, so I couldn't really participate.
Wait, guys, I gotta do something for work. I'll be right back. Missed all the entire show. Damn it.
Yeah. No. See, Justin's sleeping. You was napping.
Yeah. Gotta nap sometimes. It's gotta get my full 8 hours however I can.
If there was one thing about having a 3-year-old that's taught me, it's just enjoy naps. Because oh man, they fight it and fight it and fight it. I'm like, oh God, do you know how much I would kill to have a nap right now?
I just over abuse it. I'm taking the naps for you, bud. You're welcome. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. The new show that's on the kickoff, because it was going to be the Casino Battle Royale of women on the kickoff show, or the pre-show, buy-in, whatever you call it. All these stupid names.
Hey, buy-in's nice.
The new one is a 10-man tag team match.
Oh, Jesus.
The Best Friends and Jurassic Express versus the Hardy Family Office and the Hybrid 2.
Ooh. Hybrid 2's bad guys? They're bad people? They're bad guys?
Yeah, they're with Hardy Family.
Matt Hardy's crew?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, like official members of the whatever Hardy's team is called?
I don't know if they're official. I think they're the ones that HFO has hired, so they're hired guns. But
okay. Damn.
So it's 5-on-5. So it looks like Best Friends is going to be Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Wheeler Yuta versus with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, with Marco Stunt just on the outside. I'm going to have to look to see when the last time Marco Stunt actually wrestled on an actual like televised show.
I think he fought Miro, no?
I'm sure he did. It's just been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah,
for
sure.
And the HFO is going to be Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Hybrid 2. No stakes announced as far as I know. That's just more grudge match sort of a thing, which is fine because Matt Hardy has a vendetta right now against Orange Cassidy. Probably rightfully so. I'm going to be honest with you. That was a messed up face.
I don't think I've been following Matt Hardy's. Honestly, I stopped caring about Matt Hardy, to be honest with you. I didn't care for his whole crew. After the whole Hangman Page thing fell off, I kind of stopped caring with whatever Matt was doing.
Yeah, I don't really give a crap about the Hardy Family Office or whatever it's called.
That's HF. Okay.
HFO, yeah. I don't really give a crap about them. I think the problem is Matt Hardy's been hamstrung by the fact that he was brought in mostly because of the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. And unfortunately, he was brought in right at the beginning of COVID in the no crowd shows. And that kills that gimmick. Not having crowds around to react to it just absolutely took the wind out of the sails of that.
Right.
So he's been struggling to find something. And this is the most recent one. I don't give a crap about them. They're really talented wrestlers. Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn are phenomenal. And Helico and Jack Evans can really do. Yeah, exactly. John says, Matt Hardy's just there. He doesn't do much. Butcher and Blade should go to the House of Black. Well, just on a side note, from what I heard, Malachi Black is pushing for House of Black with Abaddon and Butcher and Blade in his team. So that very well could happen there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we necessarily need any more factions. I would like to just maybe, for curiosity's sake, see Malachi Black be a leader of a faction. He didn't do that in WWE?
Yeah. Well, and here's the deal: I agree that there's a lot of factions. The problem with factions in AEW right now is there's no unifying like enemy, right? So if you go back to WCW, you go back to early Attitude Era WWE, the factions were about unifying, right? So you had the NWO, and then you had all of the other factions in WCW that unified around fighting the NWO. Right. The problem is right now, like, they've got the Elite, but there's not a unifying group against them. There's just like whoever's against them right now. So sort of the Dark Order and Christian Cage, and that's kind of it right now. And what they really need is a unification where there's one really, really dominant bad guy team that everyone in AEW on the good guy side is against, and that they don't really have. So I would like to House of Black would be great if they just then at the same point got rid of the Hardy Family Office and just had Matt Hardy be by himself again, or something. I don't know, but In the end, for this one, I don't know. I don't know if I even care who wins. I mean, Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy is the real feud going on right now because.
So
Orange
what is
Cassidy,
that though? So yeah. So what happened there exactly? If you want to recap that.
Well, they were doing back and forth between Hardy Family Office and Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy had a match a couple weeks ago, and in the match, totally accidentally, but a fairly stiff. I think it was one of the times when Orange Cassidy came off the top rope, but he hit Matt Hardy really hard in the face, busted him open. His nose, it looked like he might have broken his nose, bleeding all over his face. I'll see if I can find a picture of the broken face because he was not looking good. After it took him like 2 weeks for his face to.
So John did write something else, by the way.
Yeah, he did. I was just waiting for a good break in this, but I'll go ahead and put it up here. It says that would be perfect for the Dark Order on track, something more than just Paige's friends. Exactly. Something that they can either be against the bad guys or be the bad guys. I don't think I've said before, I don't think that Dark Order is going to be able to be the bad team, the heels, anytime soon. There's just way too much goodwill towards them from the Brody Lee thing that they basically have to be the faces now. But so you have another team. That's what I even pitched it for Malachi Black. He comes in and starts his own group, and the Dark Order is the ones fighting against him. And then other teams can kind of bring in on that.
Right.
It says they could fight for who's the real elite heels. The ones fighting against them. And then other teams can kind of bring in on that.
Right. Oh, done.
I think JLB is having a little bit of.
My bad. I didn't mean to. Do you hear it that loudly?
Yes, sometimes.
Because I was trying to share it, and then it opened, and I'm like, oh no. So yeah, my bad. I don't know. I think the Dark Order's kind of screwed at this point. They're just that comedy group now, and what's his face does it really well. Number 5, I find him always funny. Is it number 5?
John Silver?
The guy who's just John Silver. That's it. He's just hilarious, and it's awesome. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this kind of ruins this. You know what I mean? I don't know. They're stuck in a little rut at the same time. They can't just give it up because then people are going to be like, well, it's kind of, you're ruining the legacy of Brody Lee, or people will be thinking that. And so they're really in this spot where they can't really do much with them. Definitely can't turn them heel. So it would have to be something where Malachi's Black faction, if it does become a thing, end up being the ultimate heel faction. And honestly, Malachi Black can do it. This guy could turn it on and off, and he's just so sadistic, so demonic that it just works. He just has that going for him, So yeah, he'll definitely have to. And the fact that he's pushing for it, I imagine then it's happening. Tony Khan just wants to hear your idea. It's cool. All right, let's try it out. Just get rid of Hardy's faction. Get rid of, dare I say, even get rid of MJF's faction. I don't care about the Pinnacle. I feel like I haven't even seen them all together in a hot minute. Anyways, you know what I mean? This is done. I don't know. I just don't care about their factions. There's not one that I'm really Taz, don't care. The Elite is maybe the only one I kind of care about, but
yeah, I think I would be 100% fine with the Dark Order being still together, but the Elite, I guess, being okay. But a bunch of the other ones, the FTW, I'm fine with them disappearing. I'm fine with a lot of them, but Here we go. I'm still trying to find this picture of Matt Hardy because it's it might get us censored on Facebook if I can find the one that I want. It's pretty fucking gruesome.
Matt Hardy got what? Got hit by Orange Cassidy?
It was apparently a crossbody off the top rope. But
I found it. Here, I'll just.
Did you find the one with him bloody, or did you find the one of the aftermath? Because that's the main one I'm finding is the aftermath one.
Well, he's in the ring and he's bloody, but they're like there's really one weird. Oh, Jesus!
There's one that he tweeted out afterwards that is just gruesome.
I'll send it to you here straight away, just in case, if that's the one you're referring to. Did you try looking on Matt's Twitter?
No, because I was trying to find it a different way, but then I probably should have been easier doing to. Because I kept finding a picture on Twitter, but it wasn't. It was the aftermath one, not the one with him actually bloody.
Oh,
I sent it to the group at 1.2.
No, I definitely don't remember you sending that, but I got this one for you. Oh, you just got it. Damn, there's like a little delay on that, huh?
A little bit. No, there is a much more gruesome version.
Really?
I know I sent it to the group. It's just a matter of me finding it because there it is.
Found it.
Dirt Sheet Radio. Okay.
Oh, you must have did it as a link because I'm going through all the photos and
yeah, I found it. It's back on August 27th at I don't know, like 6 p.m. something like that.
Either way, bloody photo. Did you get it? Are you showing it?
I'm about to find it. I mean, so I got to scroll back on the Facebook a bit to find it because that was like a week ago. So. But
yeah, John was saying they could fight to see who is like the real elite heels. I mean, it's kind of been done, like not in AEW, but I mean, usually heels don't face heels, or I guess we're the best kind of powerful people. But I don't know. I'm just done with the factions. They just did too many. I'm just over it. Just have one or two, make them the crazy ones. The elite is fine and all that, so.
Like I say, getting rid of FTW, I'm fine with.
Well, that's not a faction, though. FTW?
Well, yeah, it is. It's Taz, Ricky Starks.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I was FTR. I was thinking FTR.
FTR.
Get rid of Taz.
Even
get rid of Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory, Bull Bananas. Like, I don't care.
Well, yeah. I mean, that I'd like to see get gone because I don't want to see QT Marshall on my screen anymore.
Hey, man. Well, hopefully Big Show says what's up. And I imagine Big Show's going to lose, right? Big Show's there to be promoting.
Well, we will get to that.
Well, geez, golly. It's 1:30 the Freckle. We still haven't started the show.
We started it. We're still talking on the pre-show, but we started it.
That's fair.
No, the whole reason for this match is really just to build up more on this Orange Cassidy feud, I think.
Right.
I just got to get back. Jesus. Facebook is so slow. Because it was a Dirt Sheet Radio one. And so I've got to get back to the 27th, and it's like loading like a third of a day at a time. So apparently, just to fill some time while I do this, Sasha Banks was apparently backstage at SmackDown, but not used.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Bliss and who was ever at Raw was not used, and The Miz was not used because Vince had a temper tantrum and ripped the script a bunch of times. I don't know if that was the same reason for SmackDown, but I honestly don't even know how you put Banks in the conversation now. You have Becky's like, oh, well, I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you wait. And then,
if you talk to DA Fabe, they've established like 5 people who can go for the SmackDown Women's Championship now because of this. And everything's so great.
All kinds of hate. But you're right.
We went back and forth on it on FBI this week.
Oh, okay. It's messed up. I keep missing the Becky Lynch moments on SmackDown, and that's kind of the only thing I guess the whole Roman thing, but that's kind of the only thing I care about, but I keep missing them. And then I just finally saw on this SmackDown, I saw Becky come, and she's like, oh, I'm not giving my answer yet. And then DeVille was like, well, you're going to have to give the answer in Madison Square Garden next week. Oh. Yeah, so that was the photo.
This was the bloody photo. This was the one next to it's the one I really wanted to show, where his face is just half swollen shut.
Damn.
And it took the better part of a week for him to get back to almost normal on the bottom.
Wow. This was when?
2 weeks ago on Dynamite.
Damn,
is when this happened. And then they...
So it was like a Nia Jax clothesline almost.
It was a crossbody, but I think, and I need to watch it again. I think what happened is in the crossbody, Orange Cassidy's elbow caught the side of Matt Hardy's face, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was not pretty whatsoever.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Stop doing that. Go back to this.
I like that little background. That was a nice background.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that. That was nice.
It's just something I whipped up.
During FBI, or this is just something you just did today?
No, I whipped it up the other day. For the background for the reaction video that I did that's been partially demonetized. I don't know. I mean, I'm not monetized, but I got a copyright strike against it because.
Oh, Jody.
Yeah,
you know what's messed up? I did a Kanye West live Donda stream.
Mm-hmm.
And I got I got like Facebook telling me like, oh no, UMG owns this. And then so they're like, I muted the parts that wanted me to mute, and then they just said they released the strike. They're like, oh, okay, no problem, it's fine now. Mm-hmm. The music was still there though. I'm like, you guys don't make any sense.
Yeah, this one it was on YouTube. YouTube said, "Oh, you got to take out this."
YouTube took me down right away.
You got to take out this 2-minute segment of the Kenny Omega versus Andrade match from Tripleania. Is what I reacted to. But then I went in and I edited to take out that 2 minutes, and they said, "Well, that's not enough to get rid of the copyright strike." And I'm like, "Well, then fuck that. I'm leaving it in there." You know, I'm not going to edit out my entire goddamn video.
Well, yeah. So. It's AAA, bro. It's not no,
so I just left it in. Anyways, so Best Friends and Jurassic Express versus HFO and Hybrid 2. I don't really care who wins this match.
It's gonna be a great match, though.
It'll be. I have been really super impressed with Wheeler Yuta, the newest member of Best Friends, who basically only came in to replace Trent, who's out injured. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So, I don't think I've seen him wrestle necessarily. I've been missing a lot of. Well, have they even fought recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I've just been not paying attention then, I guess. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll definitely have to go back, and that's honestly genius on their part. One, you're putting the Casino Battle Royale on the main card, which is good. That means you might have some crazy special surprises. It gets people enticed. You have the pre-show buy-in match, gonna be a hell of a time, just in case people weren't excited or weren't not sure they were gonna buy the show. You're gonna have a stellar freaking matchup right there. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have nothing but flippy dudes and excitement. So if that
is gonna be a heck of a match, I just don't care who wins. I mean,
No.
If HFO wins, it's just continuing the feud. If Best Friends win, it's gonna move that feud on to someone else. But yeah, no, Wheeler Yuta, he's been in parts of things on Dark and Dark Elevation, which you don't really
Okay,
watch.
but he's fought on Dynamite already, or no?
Yes, it's like the 11th of last month. It was a 6-man tag, HFO versus Best Friends. So he was on there. Darby Allin versus Wheeler Yuta back in July.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was Fyter Fest. It was one of the Fyter Fest matches. Sammy Guevara the week before versus Wheeler Yuta. He's been really impressive to me. So I think I would like to see him get away from the Best Friends just because, well, A, I want to see Trent come back and it be that group again. But B, I kind of just want to see what he can do on his own.
Right.
So, but that's the pre-show match. I don't care who wins. It's going to be a fun match to watch, though. Moving on.
Exactly.
Moving on to the actual show. This is where things get fun. I would anticipate this one to be the one that kicks off the show because it's big and exciting. It takes up a fair amount of time. And so all of this stuff with the 21 woman Casino Battle Royal, I would anticipate kicks off the show.
And
mostly because there are other matches that I guarantee will close out the show. And that sort of battle royal is something you either kick off a show with or end a show with. You don't,
right.
It's not good for like in the middle of things. So, but the entrance so far, if I'm counting correctly, we've got all 21 named entrants right now.
No, really? So we're not going to get any surprises?
That's where my question is, because I anticipate at least one surprise, and I even talked about it on in the text.
Inspirational surprise?
No. Surprisingly enough, that's not the surprise I want. The surprise that I anticipate is more of a diamond in diamond in the rough. She's not really rough.
Paige's daughter.
Nope. Nope. Tessa Blanchard. That's my answer. I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore.
I suck at these.
I'm just going to go straight to it. Here's the deal.
Tessa, where else, though? She's literally not signed anywhere else?
She's literally not signed anywhere. She hasn't been for over a year since the start of COVID. Right. She hinted the other week. Not hinted. She teased, I should say, the other week, signing with WWE, more specifically NXT, but that sent all the internet wrestling people on fire. They're like, "Oh my goodness, she's going to be in NXT or whatever." But this was right as the news of the shakeup at NXT had started to hit. And,
like, maybe I shouldn't.
Well, and more specifically, one of the big things with the shakeup at NXT is this whole thing where they're going to stop going after indie wrestlers, and they're going to start to try to find their own wrestlers. Basically, the reports have it that Vince McMahon feels you can teach someone to wrestle, but you cannot teach someone to have the wrestler look that we want. Right. So he'd rather go out and recruit bodybuilders that have the look that he wants and teach them to wrestle than find internet wrestlers or independent wrestlers who can wrestle like crazy, but don't have the look that he thinks makes a star. And Tessa Blanchard, she's got the look, but she's also an independent wrestler. And I think that's where, but on top of it, Tessa Blanchard has a history.
Gotta teach you too much. No.
Tessa Blanchard has a history over the last year of trolling, specifically trolling WWE fans. So she tweeted what it is. She tweeted out a picture of her with a whole bunch of $1 million bucks. In fact, I think they were Grimes bucks. The Cameron Grimes $1 million bucks. Anyways.
Okay.
And everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, she's going to be the new $1 million girl or whatever. $1 million woman." Because this was right after $1 Million Man left right?
Okay.
And everyone was like, oh, she's going to come back and she's going to be the new $1 million person. And I think she was trolling. I think it was 100% trolling because she knew the internet would react that way and do this. Keep in mind, a year ago, not quite a year, but almost a year ago, she tweeted out pictures of her training in Texas with Bailey and Sasha Banks.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And that got the internet wrestling community. Oh my goodness, she's gonna be in WWE because she's training with Bailey and Sasha Banks. No, she was training at the same facility, and Bailey and Sasha Banks were there as well, and she knew that this would get people talking. But on top of it, my thoughts are, and I might end up being wrong about it, but this is my thing. My thoughts are, she tweeted that out purposefully knowing that it would get people thinking she's going to be in NXT or WWE soon, so that she can show up at AEW and it be an even bigger surprise. So I was predicting her to be the number 21 entry in the Casino Battle Royal. But then on Friday, apparently, they had a special announcement. I think it was after dark or after Rampage.
Rampage,
after Rampage, of the final entrant. And so the entrants that we know of, and I'll keep count just to make sure it comes to 21. Now there is a precedent for a 22nd entry going back to All Out, or All In, the original one. But anyways, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Kylan King.
15. Okay.
Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Rebel. With Britt Baker, Rebel.
Okay. Yep.
Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, Riho, and Sky Blue. Well, that puts us at 20, right?
Yeah.
So they said it was the 21st, but that's only at 20. So that does
who
leave
did he? Sky Blue was the one he just put in after
Sky
Rampage.
Blue is the one he just put in there after Rampage. So, or at Rampage.
Well, I think, don't we always never know who the 21st person is, though? Isn't that always technically a surprise?
That's technically the thing, but that's why it was a big thing, because they on Rampage, I remembered them said, we now know who the 21st person will be. It's Sky Blue.
Oh, snap. Okay.
But if our count is correct, that puts us at 20, which does leave opening for one. That being said, there's two things. There's enough names on this list of wrestlers who are not like super well known, right?
Yeah, like Reba could be like knocked out randomly backstage or something.
Rebel could be knocked out.
We gotta replace Reba, you know.
Sky Blue could be knocked out pretty easily. People like
it's so
Layla
weird
Hirsch,
how he said it too. He was like, "Well, you want to be part of the Casino Battle Royale? Well, there you go." Like, God damn it, Con! But like, I know you're a fan and everything, bro, but work on your promo, bro.
But
well, there you go.
Kylan King, she's got fans on Dark, but it's one of those things she could easily get knocked out backstage and someone come in.
Right.
But if there is one opening, there's that. The other thing is, keep in mind, Orange Cassidy was the 22nd entry into the 21-man Battle Royal. And so they've had 22 entries before too. So they very easily could go to that well again and have a second entry after the 21st entry. So winner of this gets a Women's World Championship match.
Jade's not in the match?
Jade's in it. She was right after Emi Sakura. Yep.
Okay.
I don't expect her to win though, for a couple reasons, right?
She's not going to need it.
She doesn't really need it, number one. B, she's as good as she is and as big of an upside as I think she has. She also is still really new to wrestling and really green overall, right?
Right.
And it needs a little bit more seasoning before we put her in a world title match, number one. And so if I were to, from the names listed there, if I were to say the top 3 choices for people who I think could win it, right? Ty Conti.
Yeah, she's been getting a major push. They've been talking a lot more about her.
Yep.
So,
Thunder Rosa would be a
I enjoy her though, so I don't mind. Like, give me more Thunder Rosa. Yeah. I know, like,
and so those are the 2 that I think would be most likely to get a world title shot. I don't think Anna Jay's been back long enough to get a world title shot. I don't think they're going to give either Rebel or Jamie Hayter a world title shot against the person that's in their own corner. You know what I mean?
Right.
So many of the other ones, I think they could maybe have Hikaru Shida win to have her get her rematch to try to win back the belt.
Is this the first time she's back? I feel like I haven't seen her wrestle in a while, or I'm just not paying attention.
She's wrestled 9 times on AEW Dark or Elevation since, but she has not wrestled on Dynamite or Rampage.
Oh,
the only reason I know that offhand is it came up in the other one, and I looked it up. She has won all 9 matches on Dark or Dark Elevation. They're telling a storyline with her.
Start watching Elevation, man. Like, I feel like I'm missing a storyline
with her on those of her her being more mean and more aggressive than she used to be. Like, losing the belt has caused her to become more aggressive.
Oh, so they gave her a personality?
I say more aggressive. It just means she punches a little bit longer and doesn't let go after one.
Oh, so she's still a Stonewall.
Yeah, she's still Hikaru Shida, but
no offense. I love Hikaru Shida. Like, it's no offense towards her. It's just, I don't know. You got to give me some excitement. You got to be more alive. You're just kind of just there. Hey guys, you can wrestle. You got that. Now work on your promo skills or something. Like, I don't know.
But like Tay Conti and Anna Jay, even though I think Tay is gonna Ty Conti. I always say Tay. Ty Conti. Even though I think Ty Conti is a potential winner, I think because they just had Anna Jay show up on Dynamite this week to rescue her, I think they're going to be putting them in a tag against people like Rebel and Jamie Hayter or team like that. But
we'll see what happens. Yeah, they were definitely hinting towards a tag scenario. So
if I were to say people that I can guarantee are not going to win, I'm going to say Nyla Rose is definitely not going to win. No. I'm going to say Emi Sakura is definitely not going to win. Kylan King is definitely not going to win. Riho is definitely not going to win. Sky Blue is definitely not going to win. I could give a long shot to Kiera Hogan winning, but I think they're going to tell a story of her coming back against Jade Cargill.
Right.
Build that feud up a little bit more. Big Swole is kind of could go either way. I don't see her winning, but I don't necessarily guarantee she won't win. So
that's fair.
But
that's fair.
Next match, of course, the order. So I'm just going to go. Next match on the list is Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima.
So I've never seen Moshima Kojima fight, so I really don't know what I'm here to expect, but I imagine it's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah. Am I supposed to be expecting that?
I would imagine not as much intentional blood, because it's not going to be like a death match sort of a thing.
Okay.
I don't know Kojima super well, but if I'm correct, he's like a more Japanese technical wrestler sort of thing. It's still going to be a great match. Kojima is one of those people that you see come up on wrestlers' lists of dream matches, So I do, however, see Jon Moxley winning it. I think Jon Moxley winning it's kind of a no-brainer. Build him up again and
they've had crazy feuds, right? Like in, I guess, New Japan. And so they're just kind of bringing it up from there, or it's just...
I do not think Jon Moxley has ever faced Kojima before. I think that's why this happened. I think Moxley was like, this is my dream match.
Okay.
I'm going to look to be certain, but I was pretty certain.
But there's no steps, right?
Yep, it's just a singles match.
It's just a singles match. Okay.
Kojima. Yes, they have never wrestled before. At least, well, actually, it helps if I spell Kojima correctly.
That would, it does wonders when spelling is correct. I never learned from this mistake, but I've heard it does.
Okay, it doesn't matter. They still have never wrestled before, so
okay.
This is a first-time match for most of them, but
okay, nice. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. I just hope randomly for All Out, Jon Moxley changes his theme song. I'm done with his Wild Thing, or is it Wild Thing?
It's Wild Thing. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
I'm done. It doesn't suit him at all. I get it. He's wild and whatever. He's a lunatic and no, but this song doesn't give me that wild lunatic vibe. I don't care how many times you say Wild Thing. No, it doesn't do it for me. It's so old.
Just so you know, Kojima's 50. Kojima is 50. 50 years old, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn.
So that's what I say. I mean, this is one of those that like I've seen.
So it's going to be like a real technical match then. That's what we're going to be expecting.
Japanese strong style match, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Let's see here. What's his highest rated match, just so I can talk about it? Kojima versus Will Ospreay from just earlier this year is 4.25 star in a no DQ match. That's Meltzer star rating, just so you know. There's a tag team match, I don't care. Kojima versus Takagi is 4.25 star. That was in 2019. Okada versus Kojima in 2017 is 4.25 stars. Got a fair amount of 4.25 star matches. Let's see if I can do it this way instead. Tenryu versus Kojima from 2002 is 4.75 stars.
I'll definitely check out some of his matches before, so I know what I'm getting myself into. I mean, 4.5 stars. You know, that's.
I'm gonna go into it blind.
I already do that.
I'm just gonna go into it blind and hope I'm impressed. But I don't see any reason for you to have anyone other than Moxley win. Right.
I mean, especially if he's just there for a one-off thing, like, hey, we wrestle, shake hands, bye, then no point. Have Moxley win, you know.
Exactly. Next on the list is QT Marshall versus Paul White.
So what happened with this, right? He conned Big Show to get into the ring. They attacked him. The guns turned against them. I guess whatever, fine, make them heel. Still don't technically know what they're trying to tell with that. So is he part of... Because QT Marshall has his own faction now too, right? Or no?
Well, yeah, QT Marshall is the Nightmare Factory faction. Because he runs the Nightmare Factory thing. And that's why the people that back him up, Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado, are people from the Nightmare Factory. I don't give a crap about this faction one way or another. And like I said before, I would not shed a single tear if I never saw QT Marshall on my TV ever again.
They like him though, man. As much as the fans hate him, like he gets a lot of schlack on Twitter.
The thing is, I think they're I think they're misestimating the fans' hatred. I think he's getting go away heat, not heel heat. They think he's getting heel heat, but he's getting go away heat. But here's the deal. I mean, he's really good friends with Cody and Matt and Nick Jackson and all that stuff. He got his job because of that. He runs the Nightmare Factory for Cody because he's an excellent trainer. This is nothing against his skill set, right?
Right.
He's really good at training people. He can go in the ring. I just do not want to see him on my TV anymore. He is one of the few AEW ones that it's not that I hate him because he's a bad guy. I hate him because he's boring.
Right.
I hate him because I think he's trying so hard to be a bad guy that I don't care,
Yeah. Well, you know why? You know where he probably gets that from? He probably gets that from Cody, because I feel Cody pushes too much into trying to be like his father, and it comes off really fake. So I think QT Marshall, almost in effect, does kind of the same thing. He puts too much into his promos, and it's like, bro, you're not that big. You can't be this cocky. It doesn't work for you. You know what I mean?
I think it's even more, like I said, I think they're just misreading the heat. I think they see the people saying, get off my TV, QT Marshall, and they think that, oh, he's doing such a good job as a heel, let's keep him around. But it is literally go away heat. It's literally get off my TV. Because I would rather see, Jungle Boy on my TV instead of QT Marshall, right? Not as a story.
I would rather see Jungle. I would see Jungle Boy over a lot of those wrestlers.
Every minute that QT Marshall is on screen is a minute stolen from some other AEW wrestler that I'd rather see, right? You put QT Marshall out there, he's taking minutes away from either Jungle Boy or Private Party or Varsity Blondes or the Lucha Brothers or Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends or anyone, literally anyone. You could open up the Wikipedia page for people who are in AEW wrestling, and every name that is not QT Marshall I would rather see on my screen than QT Marshall.
All right, that's fair. So you definitely rather see Marco Stunt than go up against. Okay.
Yes, I would rather see a 30-minute long Marco Stunt versus Wardlow match than 2 seconds of QT Marshall on my screen.
Oh Jesus!
I would I'm going to say this. If QT Marshall was announced for Zello Pro that I'm going to in 2.5 weeks, right? QT Marshall was announced for that. He is the one autograph I would not want on my t-shirt.
Oh, bro, you have to now.
Nope. He's the one autograph I would not. He's not going to be there. But if he were announced, I would go to every other table.
I thought he wasn't.
No.
I was like, oh, bro, you're not gonna.
If he were announced, that would be the one autograph I would not get on my shirt.
Damn.
I just
poor guy.
Okay, you've heard me talk about like how I don't get Bronson Reed. Like I understand other people, but he just does nothing for me. I would still go up to Bronson Reed and get his autograph, right? QT Marshall, I would not get his autograph.
Oh my god!
Because I just don't care.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just do not care about him.
I see what you mean, though. I'm not hating on it. It's just all the hate. It's just.
I would rather go get Mongo McMichael's autograph on something.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Than QT.
Oh, the whole football thing too, though. That kind of works.
So for this, I really hope Paul White just knocks the shit out of him.
I really don't think that's happening, but I think
QT Marshall's probably
this is
winning.
QT Marshall's winning for sure. Yeah. And he most likely gonna cheat, right? He has the gun club by his side now.
He's got the gun club and he's got his other lackeys beside him, yeah. And on top of it, we'll put it in this terms, right? Paul White did not get brought to AEW to beat their wrestlers. Paul White got brought to AEW to be an announcer and to occasionally make their wrestlers look like monsters, right?
Right.
And that's what this is. So
that's it. Exactly.
So unfortunately, I think QT Marshall is going to win. I barely hear it on my side, so.
Can you hear me?
I can hear a beeping, but I can hear you just fine.
Un momento.
But you're muted. And now you're gone. Just me. Well, it looks like I'm here by myself while he figures out. I'm going to. Pitch the website or the merch store, because I put up new merch this week and I'm super proud of it.
There we go. Jesus Christ. Where are you hearing the mic from?
I can't exactly tell, but I don't think it's your headset.
Fair enough.
Oh, and you're not connected. So there's the new merch we just put up. It's Sasha Bear. I'm so proud of Sasha Bear.
Oh, I'm there. Okay. Now where do you hear it from? Can you tell?
Well, tap on your headset microphone and I'll tell you if it's that. It is not that.
Oh, dirty. Okay. Why do I keep getting kicked out, though, every time I try to touch it? All right. That sounded horrible.
You can put Sasha Bear on pretty much any color shirt. You can put her on green shirt or a pink shirt or orange. Doesn't really look great on orange, though, with the colors. Or purple. Or if you want, nice white shirt with Sasha Bear on it. Sasha Bear, now available on shop.spreadshirt.com/raw and order WBU. Okay. Well, I can't hear anything right now. Nothing. You can put Sasha Bear on a black shirt. Looks pretty good on black. Yeah. How about a red shirt? Actually, that looks really good because it kind of matches her. But Sasha Bear, get it before we get a copyright strike against it and have to take it down. Because it very well could happen. So you can hop on there and get your own Sasha Bear shirt. It even says boss on her thing. So let's see if...
All right, you're going to have to get it from the mic. Does it sound that bad?
It just sounds a little bit like you're in a bubble, but that's okay.
I'm in a bubble. Do you hear your echo or no?
I don't hear an echo of me on it, so that's...
Okay, good. Perfect.
That's fine. Like I said, it just kind of sounds like you're in a large room. So, but there, I just spent time talking about Sasha Bear.
Yeah, I know. Great design. He designed that all by himself. I still believe he copied that completely from Yogi Bear, and he just put blue hair on him,
I 100% used a picture of Yogi Bear as a guide,
a reference,
as a reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I hand drew every line on that page.
You mean you traced it?
I hand drew.
You traced it. You didn't hand draw on shit. You traced it.
I used a pen and I drew every single line on that page.
You used a pen and you traced every single line on that page. No, well done.
I will tell you this. I did not. But it still could get taken down by Hanna-Barbera. So get it while you can.
Yeah, that's it. Because I might just go buy one just to have a limited edition. Oh, there's so many colors too. I think I might want to get a yellow one.
Oh yeah, that's just in that particular shirt style, because you can get it on almost any one of these shirt styles. I bet you can get it on a.
Hey, do we have wife beats or tank tops?
Like that one right there.
Snap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that looks comfortable or not.
Doesn't have. Well, this one I think is the men's premium tank top. I think we got another tank top option as well for men. So I think there are 2 different tank top options for men. I like the ringer shirts. Look at them all. Look at all these options. You decide you want it on a mug. You want to show off your belly button, you can get it in a crop top. Oh, maybe that's the other one is this one. It's not technically a wife beater. It's the sleeveless shirt, like the workout shirt.
Oh, okay.
So
they don't even have a model for this one. It's just like, yeah, here's a shirt.
I think they just added this one. So
okay.
I think they haven't gotten around to a model yet for it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna try the tank top. Just which one I'm gonna put it on is the question. Because I feel like if I'm gonna get the Sasha Bear, I want that on a shirt. On a mug, that would look pretty cool too.
Color mug, yeah, right there.
So AEW.
So anyway, back to AEW. Okay, let's stop this shameless merch plugging. So yeah, I think QT Marshall's gonna win, but I want Paul White to beat the shit out of him. So that's right. Moving on, next one.
Probably going to be the worst match of the night. Probably it's going to be on our recap for sure. Well, we'll see. Maybe it might surprise us, and you might become a QT Marshall fan after this. No,
not going to happen. That's for certain. Okay. It'll likely still be my worst match tonight. Next one on my list: Chris Jericho versus MJF. This one is the toughest one to truly predict.
Really?
If only because of the stipulation, and this is why, right? If the stipulation wasn't there, I 100% would be certain that MJF was going to win, right? But with the stipulation, I'm not sure that Chris Jericho is ready to say he's done with wrestling on Dynamite, right?
I don't know, man. I think it's going to happen though, because I feel like he's just going to come with either he's going to focus on commentating for a bit or on some back stuff. I know he has like a tour going on as well. So I think he's going to probably step away for a bit.
I see all of those, but here's the deal: is so far, and this will probably change eventually, but so far AEW has been really big on. If we set a stipulation that someone doesn't do something if they lose, we stick with it, right?
Where do we have
Cody Rhodes said, I will never challenge for the AEW world title. If he lost that match, he lost the match, and he has stuck with it and never done it again. Never even attempted. In fact, they brought it up, hey, can you do this? If you win this, if you have him put it up as and they said, no, that's a stipulation and we're going to stick with it. We feel firmly about it. And
anything
that's
else?
why, well, that's the biggest one. But they haven't had a ton of those things happening. But because of that, I feel if they made this it's because they 100% are going to abide by it. And I don't think Chris Jericho is ready to hang up his tights yet. I think he's going to take time off to tour. I 100% believe that. I think he's going to do commentary for a while, but I don't think he's going to be permanently done with wrestling. And as of right now, AEW has me bought in, at least, that in their league, when someone says I am done with or I will not do something, they stick with it. And they haven't broke it yet, and until they break it, I'm going to believe them when they say it. And because of that, I think Chris Jericho might get the win at this one, and then put an end to his feud with MJF and say, now I'm done. On top of it, it's one of those things. The fact that they had MJF come out with a shirt that said Jerablo 0, MJF 3, I don't think they're going to give him 4-0. You know what I mean? I think this is time for Jericho to get one victory out of it. But like I said, I might have bought into it more before the stipulation, but then that stipulation came, and I'm like, no, I don't think they're ready to hang up their AKA Golden Goose, their demo god yet, right? And don't get me wrong, I want to see him on commentary. I think he's phenomenal on.
Yeah, he was great on Rampage. Honestly, that 4-man team on Rampage was like spot on. X, Mark, Jericho. I'm still not a huge fan of Taz, but
I would prefer it to be a 3-man. I'm fine with Taz. I would prefer Mark Henry just to be the backstage interviewer. I don't care for him on the booth. He brings something face to face talking to people, but I don't feel him on just regular commentary.
Well, I think he's just getting more comfortable with it, though, because you're right. I felt the same way last Rampage, but this Rampage, I don't know if it's maybe the chemistry he had with Jericho, and it was like he seemed more alert, more on the ball, and more excited. Like there was enthusiasm there. So I don't know. In
the end, he might have seemed all of those things, but he still didn't bring anything to the table in my book. So, but anyways. Moving on, Miro versus Eddie Kingston. This is a relatively recently added match to it. Didn't have a ton of build, just like a week.
Redeem these nuts.
Yes, but in that week they did a lot to build this match.
They did pretty good for short term.
And the thing is, we knew that Eddie Kingston can deliver a promo, right? And Miro's shown to be able to deliver promos now that they've taken the best man gimmick away from him, and he gets to make jokes about either being on his knees or his wife on his knees, on her knees. You know what I mean? All of these jokes there, they're really funny. So I do not think Eddie Kingston's going to win the TNT title, though.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind
it at all. Like,
I'm not saying I
don't
want
Miro.
it.
I feel
think
like
it is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's doing a lot for Miro. I think it's doing a fair amount for Miro, but the biggest thing is I think Miro's going to hold on to that belt. He's only going to lose that belt when they're ready to put him in a feud for the world title. I know Tony Khan doesn't want us to think about that belt as a mid-card belt, as a stepping stone belt, but that's what it is. The TNT title is the belt you give to someone to establish them as a champion so that you can eventually move that person up to challenge for the world title. And I think Miro's going to hold on to it for a little bit longer until they're ready for him to challenge. But here's the deal. They're not going to have Miro challenge Omega. That's heel versus heel. That doesn't work.
No, but
yeah. And so it's going to be after Omega has lost to someone. Do we think Omega is going to lose to Christian Cage later in this night? We'll get to it. Spoiler alert. I think no. But I just don't see them being ready to have Miro challenge for the world title yet. So because of that, I think he's going to hold on to this belt for a little bit longer. They're also going to use it to allow him to do some major squash matches against some of the younger, smaller talent, because that's really a lot of fun to watch. I said it always about Brock Lesnar. Those are the most fun matches with Brock Lesnar. It's when he just gets to come in and throw a little guy around for 5 minutes, right?
Or not even a little guy, just really anybody.
Yeah, a big guy is fine too. Just throwing them around, right? Ragdolling people left and right. And that's why, like, we joked about Fuego earlier, but Fuego versus Miro, as short as that match was, it was a ton of fun to watch. Because Fuego got some of his tornado DDTs in and looked like maybe he was gonna maybe pull something else out, and then Miro got back in the match and just ragdolled Fuego around for a bit, and then put him in the whatever he calls it,
camel clutch, whatever.
Yeah, it's the camel clutch, but he has a name for it. It used to be the Game Over, but I know it's a different name now, the Redeemer. I don't know. But so I think Miro's going to win, but I do think it's going to be a fun match to watch.
I think, it's going to be a good time. Kingston, I like his brawler like antics. I think he's good. It's weird. I have like a love-hate relationship with his wrestling, but he's like improved. The first time I saw him, I wasn't crazy on him. I'm like, oh, this guy's too much of a brawler. He doesn't really know how to wrestle. And then the few things he did with Jon Moxley, I thought they were really good. And I was like, okay. So I've learned to appreciate him more, I guess.
Yeah. So
it should be fun.
So it'll be tons of fun. Moving on to the first of what I would call a quad main event. Because we got 4 matches that all of them could arguably be the main event. I think Omega versus Christian Cage is going to be the main event.
Most likely. Yeah.
That makes the most sense for most things. But the first match, Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers in a steel cage for the AEW World Tag Team titles, that 100% could main event a show. And
match of the
we'd
night.
be happy.
Like, whoa,
potential match of the night. I don't even know who to pick for winning it, because like storyline wise, it makes sense for the Young Bucks to hold on to the titles a little bit longer, continue to be the dick elite, characters and yada yada yada, right?
I'm also over it though, too.
But I am kind of over it. That's what I said. Storyline wise, it makes sense, but I'm also fine with the elite having a big setback and losing those belts now. I also would be 100% fine with Lucha Brothers running around with the belts for a while. Right.
And no one would argue about that at all. So I think everyone wants Lucha Brothers to get the championships. So
yeah. So I don't have a guess. The only guess I have for who's going to be the winners are us sitting at home watching. We are the winners. Because that cage match is going to be flames. It's going to be literally on fire.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So, the next of the quad main event, Britt Baker with Rebel versus Chris Statlander. This is probably the weakest of these 4, but it is still an AEW Women's World Championship match. So it is up there. I love Chris Statlander, but I just don't think they're going to have her win.
It's not for the title, though. It's for the title?
It's for the title.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think they're ready to have Chris Statlander as world title holder.
I don't think they're. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to let it roll off DMD for a hot minute, though. People are really getting. People have been into her and so on, but I feel like she's a good money merch person, DMD, all that jazz. Like, I think it's a good time. I don't think you get rid of her yet, because I still feel like there's not a lot of eyes on the women's division just yet.
Well, there's not, but I mean, here's the deal: Chris Statlander is phenomenal, and I love her. And so I would be happy with her as women's champion. But if the person that I was guessing shows up as the mystery 21st century, that is an instant feud for that championship with Britt Baker, right? Tessa Blanchard in AEW instantly is give me that belt. And I would be here for those matches. I would love to see Chris Statlander versus Tessa Blanchard, but it doesn't have that like main event feel as Britt Baker versus Tessa Blanchard kind of does. You know what I mean? Like that
would be fire. Yeah.
That feels like fire. And I've said it before. There was at one point I would have put Tessa Blanchard within the top 5 best wrestlers in the world, not women's wrestlers. Best wrestlers.
I guess I gotta watch more Tessa Blanchard matches.
I literally think she's that good.
Okay.
Some people might disagree with me, and that's fine. I just think she is that good. The matches that I've seen of hers, she's got the charisma, she's got the look, she's got the skills. She was raised by one Hall of Famer and fathered by another Hall of Famer. She's got the in her DNA, and she's really phenomenal. She also is reportedly maybe not the nicest person in the world. But
yes, now I'm remembering. Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But if she does come into AEW, which
why would they take her though? I mean, because I guess it's been a while, because it was the whole. That's why Impact or TNA got rid of her. Essentially, it was because of how bad she was outside of the ring, and
there were reports of it. But I mean, here's it's been over a year. Number one, B. It's one thing to say, "Hey, Jimmy Havoc, you're reportedly not a very good person. We're gonna cut ties with you." It's another thing to say, "Hey, Tessa Blanchard, I know you're one of the 5 best wrestlers in the whole world, but you're kind of a not nice person. We're going to cut ties with you." I think there was more that went on with Tessa Blanchard leaving Impact Wrestling than just she's not a nice person.
Okay.
Some of it was the start of COVID. She went down to where she lived at the time in Mexico, and she couldn't travel. And she was their world title holder at the time, and her contract was almost up, and she was using that as leverage to renegotiate a contract. And they were like, "Nah, we're not going to let you use that." And I think that played into it more than the she's not a nice person. I think it more was, we're not going to let someone strong arm us with the world title. Right.
Okay.
Just because you have the world title doesn't mean you get to tell us what to do. So,
yeah, exactly.
But so this is another chance for
Tessa to just come in.
Tessa to come in, even if she's not the 21st person in the women's battle royal, because there are other options for that potential 21st person spot. You mentioned earlier the Iconics, Cassie Lee, or
are they coming together?
Yeah, they're coming together, but they could each go one at a time.
No, but I mean, it could literally be like they're coming in together. Like
potentially.
As one,
as
one.
That'd
be kind of different,
be. Ruby Soho is almost definitely going to show up, whether she shows up at this or because all of her vignettes that she's putting out.
But she wrote New York. Like now it's New York, though.
That's my point.
Is in Chicago.
That's my point. All of her vignettes are New York, which that match isn't coming up for a few more weeks. The New York date,
right?
So I think they're still planning on her for the New York dates.
Okay, so you're not maybe thinking it's a swerve.
I think the vignettes are 100% what they're going to. She's coming up in New York, not in Chicago.
I love that one. Riot is dead. The guy's graffitiing that on the wall. I'm like, nice, badass.
Yeah. But so I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up per se. I just think that all of the hints that she has put out has been towards her showing up in New York, not Chicago. And because of that, I think that's where it makes more sense for her to show up. But
at least for the big nets,
yeah. But so for this, I think Britt Baker still wins. I think it'll be a fun match to watch. It'll be a fun way to showcase the women's division a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen one more women's match on the card, not just a battle royal and one match. You know what I mean? But whatever. Moving on to the co-main event. And the only reason I say that this is the only one that isn't for a title, but you better believe this is going to be one of the last matches. Because this is the one that's paying the bills around there. CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
Right.
This will be a lot of fun to see how CM Punk can go. I imagine he can still go okay, and some of that is based on Hollywood magic. He's been an actor, and recently he appeared as a wrestler in a show on Showtime. I think it's Showtime. Stars.
Well, for us, it's Crave. Stars. Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
Heels. I don't know if you've watched any of Heels.
Oh yeah, I'm up to date.
I'm up to date.
I didn't realize he was in the third episode. Raby guy or whatever his name was.
Yep,
really
Rabies.
Badass.
Randy Rabies, I think was what it was. But yeah, but he comes in, and so far that show has been really big on accuracy for the wrestling. Right, the wrestling looks like it's real. Because they've done things. And so I feel like he trained to be a wrestler again for that show. And probably was taking bumps in the ring and all of that stuff so that he would look realistic on that show. And then when he comes back, that's another thing. It also has shown that he has been working out with Malachi Black.
Right.
So I think he'll probably be fine. Is he going to be at top of his form? No, it's been 7 years, right?
He's definitely going to have some ring rust.
He's going to have some ring rust for it. But in reality, what is he there to do? He's there to make Darby Allin look like a fucking star, is what he's there to do. I think Darby Allin's going to win.
So you're thinking Darby wins?
I'm thinking Darby wins.
The right move. It is the right move, but it's like, damn.
In the end, I know CM Punk came back to have one final run and to prove that he can still do it, but I also know, I feel in my heart that he is going at this knowing that this is his time to be the mentor and the guy who helps the younger people get over, rather than be the guy who gets over on the younger guys, right? It's the same reason that Sting's not going to be there, because Sting doesn't want to distract from this. Then Darby
really
Allin
cool.
started.
They made that a whole thing, and kind of Sting was marking out with just seeing a GTS and all that, and I was like, oh, okay, it's cool though. I like how they did it because they're all faces and they're all good guys. Like, guys, it's just gonna be good competition. I'm gonna give Darby a pound, go off to the back, and I won't distract anything further. You won't see me there at All Out. I was like, oh, okay, that's fair.
So I think Darby Allin wins. I do think this is one of the longer matches of the night. The only one that I can see probably going longer is going to be the Omega versus Christian Cage match, which is the next one we'll talk about. But I think Darby Allin wins. I think CM Punk puts Darby Allin over. But then afterwards, I think we've got a show of respect, double arms raised, shaking hands in the middle of the ring, because I think CM Punk knows this is his chance to help make Darby Allin a bigger star.
Yeah.
So
where do you see all these rumored people coming though? So we have rumored Bryan Danielson. We have rumored who else? Now I just blank on everything. Buddy Murphy, whatever, Ruby Soho. I feel like there was like 3 more, but those are the bigger ones. And I just don't know where I'd put anyone. Like, where does Daniel Bryan come out? Like, does he come out during the Christian? But then if Daniel comes out during that, where would Buddy Murphy come out?
So
come out against Micaiah Black?
Yes, that's exactly it. Buddy Murphy will come out during the Malachi Black match if he comes out at all. There's reports that Impact Wrestling is working hard on trying to get Buddy Matthews, I think is the name you're wrestling.
Right. Okay.
And so because that it's Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews. They've even hinted that that's not over, right?
Mhm.
I'm just noticing here that as of right now, there isn't a Malachi Black on this list. So, but that's what I would bet it is: a debut and a challenge Malachi Black for
He's
if
not
he shows.
in a match.
Nope,
Oh, that's weird.
not currently. I mean, he did just beat up Arn Anderson and Baby Anderson, and then he's got a match on Dynamite against
Right.
Dustin. That's the big thing that was just.
That's it. I'm surprised they didn't make that for the show. I guess there's too much stuff happening on the show.
There's 9 matches on the show plus a pre-show match. Maybe they just feel like they've got it all. As for Bryan Danielson, I 100% think he's the next challenger for Kenny Omega. And that's what's going to happen is at the end of the Kenny Omega Christian Cage match, which we'll, I guess, talk about now. I think anyone who truly thinks Christian Cage is going to win needs to have their head examined. They did their job well. Yes, but you can be a hardcore Christian fan and understand that he's not going to win, right? Here's the deal. I'm a hardcore Houston Texans fan, and yet there are many games in the year that I know for certain they're going to lose.
You're like, nope.
Yep, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to waste my time thinking they're going to beat the number 1 team in the league, right? Bryan Danielson coming out after Kenny Omega has beaten Christian Cage, probably with heel tactics, using ref distraction and hitting him with the belt and all of the stuff that heels use, right? Kenny Omega gets the win, and then we hear music hit.
Oh, man, you even have Bray, though, right? Like, there's rumors of Bray.
Bray should not be available.
Trying to get.
Bray shouldn't be available yet. His 90 days shouldn't be up until end of November.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So, or end of October.
Right.
End of October.
End of October.
Yeah, end of October. 31st or 30th. One of those days.
Okay.
So Bray should not be available. So that's probably not going to happen. Right. But so I think Christian Cage loses, Kenny Omega standing in the ring, and then you have music hit. It could be Ride of the Valkyries. That would get the biggest pop. I would love it if it's the final countdown because that's what Bryan Danielson used in Ring of Honor and on the Indies before his WWE tapes. So reportedly, this is the storyline behind it. Reportedly, he saw a list that was listing the top 100 worst rock songs of all time, and that was number 1. And he chose it because it was voted one of the worst rock songs ever. So,
damn, really? Because it got kind of popular again, no?
Yeah, I disagree with it being on the worst list. That song's a banger, but that's another thing altogether.
That's a whole different debate.
Yeah. But so that's what I think for Bryan Danielson. If he shows up, which we're pretty certain he's going to show up.
I feel like you definitely have to have a debut. Like you don't necessarily, but you have to have one. At this point,
yeah. Well, and here's all the reports. Every single report I read says that they decided to move Bryan Danielson's debut up to All Out for different reasons and everything. And so having him come out, the only other place that I could see him come out would be after the CM Punk match, because CM Punk versus Bryan Danielson would be another one of those big draw.
Oh, for sure.
Feuds that could happen. I mean, they had feuds back in their Ring of Honor days, that are just ballin' matches. So I could see it there, but my book is he debuts right at the end. It's the match is over, but the credits haven't started rolling yet. What happens? Final countdown hits. Here comes Bryan Danielson out to issue a challenge for Kenny Omega. That's what I think.
Snap.
If Buddy Matthews debuts, maybe a vignette where he a vignette, if you will, where he challenges Malachi Black, or something like that. Like I said, it's not even just speculation. I'll even go past that because I don't think you were on the episode that I was talking about how Scott D'Amore is expert level trolling right now.
Okay.
Because there was a video that came out. It was a wrestling podcaster. I can't remember her name, but a well-known wrestling podcaster was with him and some other Impact executives at a baseball game. Right. They're all sitting in the crowd or whatever. And she did this for TikTok or Instagram Live or whatever it was, this video. And she's like, what did you just say you were talking about? And Scott D'Amore turned to the other person and said, well, weren't we just talking about Buddy Matthews debuting at Impact tapings next week, right? Or 2 weeks from now. And the person said, well, I can neither confirm nor deny whether Buddy Matthews is going to be at these tapings in a couple weeks. But that would be really cool if he was. And then Scott D'Amore went back to the camera and said, yeah, we've got a lot of big surprises happening in this buildup for Braun for Glory.
Did you said Braun for Glory, or you just...
He said Braun for Glory. He very clearly said Braun for Glory.
Don't bring Braun Strowman. I think that's still a troll. Why would you bring Braun Strowman?
Well, that's why I say this is expert level trolling, because it 100% did what they wanted to do. It got people like me talking about it, right? There were articles the next day or later that night from Wrestle Talk and What Culture Wrestling and Cultaholic saying Scott D'Amore confirms Buddy Matthews and Braun Strowman in talks with Impact Wrestling or whatever.
Well, that's not confirming. Calm down.
I'm like, no, that's not confirming. That's trolling. But it's the same thing that, like I said, with Tessa Blanchard, right? Putting it out. Everyone said, oh, it confirms that she's in talks with NXT. No, it doesn't. Right. It confirms that she wants you to talk about her being in talks with NXT. But that doesn't mean that anything actually is happening there. That's the same thing here. Is the reports have it that they're looking to get Buddy Murphy on Impact Wrestling, which of course doesn't mean he can't still appear at AEW, right? Because they've got partnerships there.
Right.
So I would bet if we see Buddy Matthews, it's in some sort of vignette. Bryan Danielson comes out to challenge Kenny Omega after that match. Ruby Riott, if she appears, probably in the women's battle royal.
Or it could be the Britt Baker.
Maybe at the Britt Baker. In fact, either one of those could be a Tessa Blanchard appearance or a Ruby Soho appearance. I still think Ruby
thing, it's a bit too. I don't know. It's either a nice swerve, or did you catch what it said on the restaurant when she went into the restaurant? It said something clean. Maybe it was nothing, but I was trying to look for clues.
I didn't. But like I said, is all of the vignettes that she's put out so far have been, where she's trying to get to New York.
Right. But she's in New York already, right? Like she's been there. She's in New York.
She's found her way to New York in the most recent ones. But anyway, so I don't know there. Of course, there's rumors Braun Strowman, and I just kind of hope no. Just please no.
Yeah, no one signed him. Don't do it.
At one point, I thought that we were going to get potentially an appearance by certain New Japan wrestlers like Will Ospreay.
Right. Has he been showing up at that LA show and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, he's been here in the States. He's
well, he said he was going to stay at the LA place there, New Japan Strong or whatever it's called. Right? he was going to stay there with the title and whatever. So that led to a lot of people thinking, oh, he's going to probably show up in AEW, do something with Kenny.
So he Will Ospreay has confirmed he's going to be on the Jera Cruise in October. But here's where I am fairly certain Will Ospreay is not going to show up at this particular event. 3 days ago, he announced that he tested positive for COVID.
Oh, well, there you have it.
So it says he will be out of this weekend's shows. He is still expected to be able to compete at September 19th at New Japan or Rev Pro High Stakes. But again, this is professional wrestling, so that could be a swerve too. Wrestling, weird things happen in wrestling.
Yeah, but you're gonna get freaking heat though. If he does come out all out and you're like, oh really? You made it a COVID thing to kind of swerve us? That's gonna cause a whole uproar.
I don't potentially think could, yeah.
But it's Will Ospreay. Everyone kind of.
But it's Will Ospreay. Who knows? So I also wouldn't be surprised if like Tanahashi or someone like that showed up. I wouldn't be surprised if Guerrillas of Destiny, God, showed up, especially with the Young Bucks on there. In fact, if the Young Bucks win, that's where I would have God show up.
GOD's New Japan Bullet Club people?
New Japan Bullet Club tag team, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, who claim to be the OG Bullet Club, and the Elite are just wannabe formers, a shadow of their old self. And so that would be a time you bring the Young Bucks, keep the belts, but then God shows up and challenges them to prove who's the strongest of the Bullet Club or whatever. So that could happen, but I don't know.
Do you know anything happened with what's his face, Jack White, or he was like the leader? Probably not Jack.
Jay White.
Jay White.
Yeah. He has done a few things with Impact Wrestling recently.
Impact. Okay. I thought it was AEW for some reason.
But that doesn't mean, because he's still a New Japan wrestler. He's the never open weight champion. What was I gonna do?
But he showed up against Omega, though. Have they been continuing that?
They have not. Well, Omega hasn't appeared on Impact since then.
Okay.
But he has been wrestling. Here's where it could be interesting, because at New Japan Strong a couple weeks ago, Jay White defeated Wheeler Yuta, who I talked about earlier, is in the Best Friends, right? He wrestled a couple times on Impact, once versus the Good Brothers and once versus Finn Juice. And then he's been wrestling some other ones over here. New Japan Strong, Warrior Wrestling, and so on and so forth. So he 100% could show up, and but I just don't see a place for him, because kind of his whole thing was setting up Bullet Club US, sort of. And so he could appear with God if they show up. I guess they could have God show up after the Young Bucks match and have Kenny Omega out there and set it up somewhere like that. But with the expected debut of Bryan Danielson, I think that's a little bit much there. So I don't know. But like I say, I
feel like we're going to be surprised to an extent one way or another, though.
I guarantee you that Tony Khan has something up his sleeves that we haven't thought of yet. That's why I was saying Tanahashi, because I know Jon Moxley wanted Tanahashi first, and for whatever reason, Tanahashi wasn't able to do it at first. So put it off and have it be, and the next thing after Jon Moxley finishes up with Kojima earlier in the night, you have Tanahashi come out. because he is the current IWGP US champion.
Right. Oh, true. He beat Archer, right?
Yep. The only thing that would probably stop it, and I'm just looking up this now, and this probably puts a kibosh on it, because it looks like yesterday he wrestled in Saitama, Japan. So
yeah.
He's not showing up. He might show up by vignette, though. By vignette.
That's fair.
Via satellite. But yeah, no, like you say, there's going to be surprises that we didn't see coming.
Well, I hope so. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why AEW is so keen on not giving up any kind of secrets or knowing it. And I'm like, oh, then how do the dirt sheets get this? How do we know Daniel Bryan's debut has been pushed back? Like, what do you mean? They were so tight niche with a bunch of things. Is it AEW releasing this? Like, I almost wish we didn't really know. I guess it worked well for them for CM Punk because they were.
I don't know if I explained my theory to you on this, but you remember a couple months ago there was a rumor that went around. Report, we'll use the word, that USA Network was unhappy with the surprise debuts of Sting. Right? Because they were like, we should have been able to advertise to get more viewers because that we don't like surprise debuts. And AEW had denied that and said, nope, we can still do surprise debuts. Everything's fine. We can do whatever we want, right? But I suspicion that all of these leaks are AEW's way of getting around the surprise debut worries. More specifically, it can still be a surprise debut, but if we leak enough information about it, it's kind of like we announced it in advance. So we still get that ratings bump from it. Especially if we do the leaks in a way that we also do hints. That's why they had all of the hints, all of those little hints towards CM Punk showing up. That's why they had Kenny Omega wear Cookie Monster shirts. Because CM Punk once claimed that the CM stood for Cookie Monster. That's why he wore a shirt that said Chick Magnet, because CM Punk once said the CM stood for Chick Magnet. Right. That's why Darby Allin said, for that Rampage, I don't care if you think you're the best in the world. Right. That's why
MJF did
MJF using the pipe bomb promo. These were all ways to announce CM Punk is going to be there without announcing it. So they were able to keep USA Network happy and be like, listen, you're going to get the ratings bump from CM Punk showing up because people know it's going to happen. But we didn't officially announce CM Punk's going to show up. Right? So it's still a surprise. Same thing with Bryan Danielson. Leak enough of it.
Because if they're doing it on pay-per-view, it doesn't matter. At the end
it's
of the
still
day,
about getting pay-per-view buys. In the end, it's about pay-per-view buys. You want a lot of people to buy the pay-per-view, right? You make them understand, because you can't retroactively buy the pay-per-view. You can't hear Bryan Danielson showed up and then go buy it to watch it, right? That doesn't count. So you hint in and of itself, you leak that he's going to show up so that people, Bryan Danielson fans out there who want to see him return, buy the pay-per-view just so they can see him return. It drives those pay-per-view buys up. It keeps your investors happy, keeps your pocketbook happy. And you roll on. So that's my theory, is that they're specifically leaking some of these bigger name debuts. Here's the deal. Buddy Matthews, whatever his name, he's not going to move the needle on pay-per-view buys. He's not really going to move the needle on TV, viewers, right? He's phenomenal, and I think everyone's going to love him once he shows up wherever, but he's not going to lead to a 200,000 viewer spike on AEW Dynamite, right? Bryan Danielson might. CM Punk did, right?
Also sold over 300,000 shirts, I think it was. I was like, Jesus.
Yep. It's the most selling shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees of all time, beating out the Bullet Club Skulls shirt. And it beat out the Bullet Club Skull shirt in 24 hours. The Bullet Club Skull shirt has been on sale for Pro Wrestling Tees for like 8 years, something like that. And in 24 hours, CM Punk beat it in sales. That's knucking futs is what that is.
That's Roman Reigns. That's moving the needle.
Moving a needle. Yep.
That's it. Straight up. But yeah, so this pay-per-view is going to be mad fun, though. I'm really stoked. I'm so happy it's tomorrow.
Yes. I literally had to pinch myself today and be like, what day is today? Today's the 4th? Today's the 4th. Tomorrow's the 5th.
He can count.
Oh, jeez.
We're there. Yeah. And it's at 8, right? The pay-per-view?
8 your time, 7 my time, yeah.
Right.
7 Central.
Yeah, that's wild. 9 matches. Or I guess 8 matches.
Yep.
Dude, this might last until 12. It's going to be a late podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's what I scheduled. Here's the deal. I scheduled the podcast for later than normal, saying that we would go on at our normal time or whenever All Out is over. The reason I scheduled it for later, though, I scheduled it for 11 our time, midnight your time, instead of the normal 10:30 our time, 11:30 your time, was to give us that leeway. Because here's the deal. Facebook does not allow you to start more than 10 minutes late. If you're more than 10 minutes late to your live stream that's pre-scheduled, it doesn't, you have to rebuild it, right? So because I wanted to pre-schedule it, I had to give us that leeway. So, like I said, we're going live as soon as it's over or 10:30. You know, if it's over by 10:30, we go live at 10:30. If it takes longer than 10:30, it goes to 11. Right. We go to that. If it goes after 11, I might just come up here and put it on my tablet and start the live stream while it finishes, just so that we don't get. I think they allow you to do up to 10 minutes late, but I don't want to risk it too much. But
yeah, I mean, or whatever, just kind of rebuild it. I think you can just kind of I don't know. I mean, watch the show, bro. Like, well, we're gonna do the podcast either way. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you just don't schedule it, then tell people, and then boom,
it's already scheduled. I can't undo the scheduling. But no, because to upload a thumbnail in advance and get people to save it in advance, you gotta pre-schedule it. For these bigger ones, I always pre-schedule.
That's fair. That's valid too.
So it's already showing up on YouTube, so people can see it and schedule around it. But yeah, we should have DA Fabe on it tomorrow to talk about it. We should.
This was very last minute, so DA.
This one was just last minute. We may even. I invited John, who was in the comments earlier, and said if you want to join, you're welcome to. He's going to look into whether he can. He'll let me know. And so we might have another guest. Who knows?
Little 4-man battle royale going on here.
Yeah. But on that, I mean, I'm super stoked for AEW. I haven't been as excited for a pay-per-view this year since, I don't know, the last AEW pay-per-view. This one probably even more excited.
For sure. With all the rumors and potential debuts, it's on a whole different level. This is most exciting for sure this year. I hope it doesn't disappoint. You know, it's almost kind of like we were expecting so much for that death match, and then it just, botched out on us. I hope we don't kind of get that. I don't see Tony Khan doing that. I feel like he doesn't like to disappoint his fans either, in that way where he doesn't want to get that bad rep. So, I'm excited, man. I haven't been excited for this in a while. I wanted to even get it off cable, order it on pay-per-view, because I don't want to have to deal with any stream bullshit. I just want it to be right there no stream, not that illegal streaming, but Fight or whatever, or Bleacher Report Live, you still might can't pause it for some reason. I hate when that happens. But
we'll look at you, Peacock.
That too. That's it. Well, Bleacher Report, you can't pause it too. It's really messed up. You pause it and it's still live. It goes back to where it is live, and I'm like, no, I paused it for a reason.
Yeah,
what's the point of the pause button?
Yeah, what's the point of the pause? I didn't want to just not see it for 5 minutes. I wanted to. I can't remember if I did BR Live last time or something else. I've done it through Sling TV. You can order it through Sling TV. I believe that allows you to pause, but the BR Live.
Well, Sling TV is it's only American, no?
I believe so. But it's a subscription service, so you have to be subscribed first, and then you can order it as well. I mean, it's effectively a cable company, so it's ordering it through like that.
Fair.
But yeah, BR Live is technically no more. It's just Bleacher Report, because they rolled it into the regular Bleacher Report app. So, so who knows whether. Who knows whether?
What do you mean? So it doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, they discontinued BR Live. And
no, but it's still But it's still the same website. It's just
it's still Bleacher Report. It's just no longer BR Live. Yeah, like it says BR Live has moved its services to Bleacher Report effective June 30th. But you will soon be able to go to Bleacher Report to watch all of your stuff. So,
this website doesn't look as inviting.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been debating on getting it through Fight, because the Bleacher Report standard website or app is garbage. So,
yeah, and it's just even their like website is pretty garbage. Oh, Jesus. So what a conundrum. I don't know. Or I might just order it on my PlayStation and bring the PlayStation over to the living room and enjoy it that way. Because PlayStation is pretty spot on. They're pretty good. They have like a great connection.
Yeah. But anyways, that's our sort of preview of it, our discussion over it. I'm excited to see some debuts. I'm excited to see the matches. Yeah. I think the Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage makes the most sense as the main event.
For sure.
So that's going to be a ton of fun. But it'll be interesting to see if there's a surprise in terms of like a surprise. I mean, yeah, there's 9 matches and it could go a long time. But if one of the matches is short, it wouldn't 100% surprise me if they threw in another match of some sort, like another women's match or another. Or a Malachi Black match or something.
Well, no, because that match is at Dynamite, right?
But they could throw in Malachi Black versus some other jobber, as just here Malachi Black goes out and destroys someone sort of a thing.
Yeah, that'll be a quick thing, though. Yeah, exactly. That's possible.
But anyways, that is our live stream about this. So mostly this is just for posterity, I guess is the word. This way, when things happen that we said were going to happen, we can say, see, it was on our live stream yesterday. And when things happen that we didn't think were going to happen, we can just pretend like we never said anything.
Exactly. We've covered all our grounds. Yep. We're good either way. Nice.
Yep. We didn't do that at all. No. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book. Thanks for those who joined us or those who watched us later. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you tomorrow with our recap of AEW All Out 2021.
We'll never do a recap of Raw again. That's never happening.
No, I wish I could never watch Raw again, but unfortunately, as an idiot, I put it right in my Twitter handle and the name of the podcast. So I feel like I gotta
change it.
I might just change my Twitter handle to Wrestling Booking Unit and just be done with it.
And order. Just cancel the Raw out. Just take that, Vince. And Order Wrestling Podcast.
I could change it to AEW and Order. All and Order.
All and Order. Oh, it kind of sounds good. Welcome to All and Order Wrestling Booking. Oh, hot diggity damn. Yeah, guys.
Anyways.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Deuces.